Brought to you by
Human activities such as industrialization are changing climate patterns globally, more so in developing countries. As such, global climate is projected to continue to change over this century and beyond. Scientists and economists say the magnitude of climate change over the next few decades depends mainly on the amount of heat-trapping gases emitted globally and how sensitive the Earth's climate is to those emissions, hence the need to adopt a green economy. A green economy is one whose growth in income and employment is driven by public and private investments that reduce carbon emissions and pollution, enhance energy and resource efficiency, and prevent the loss of biodiversity and ecosystem services. The protection of the environment is fast becoming an important aspect of any nation because it touches the heart of the existence of humanity. Local proponents argue that green growth could increase annual GDP by 10% or an estimated $3.4 billion by 2020 and $11.5 billion by 2040 versus business as usual.
We need to reform some of our institutions to make sure that they can actually live up to the challenges. But also it is achievable if we make the right priorities in terms of investment. I gave you the example that right now, yes, it's good to have the roads, but it's equally important to make sure that we have the trees, that we protect the environment.
The country has over the past 2 decades encountered numerous challenges that have affected rapid development prospects. These include Ugandan products lacking proper certification, marketing and branding that are missing on the value chain. Green growth economy is not a new concept. Proponents also argue it is achievable in Uganda. But with all the resources available, policymakers believe government has not yet prioritized on sectors that will have a huge multiplier effect, such as expanding access to cheap energy, which will in turn boost productivity.
We think that can be something which can be done by private sector, and waste management has a huge potential, especially as government is interested in job creation. We have people who are actually, as we speak now, if you went to the landfill in Kitesi, you get people who are called scavengers. These are the guys who are, when the truck delivers the garbage, they begin to sort it. And this garbage has already market. We have a couple of recycling plants in Kampala here.
The other sectors include transforming agriculture could boost GDP by almost $3 billion and reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 1% by 2040. Encouraging a clean energy transition could boost GDP by around $4 billion and reduce GHG emission by 11% by 2040. Energy consumption per capita in Uganda is amongst the lowest in the world. Uganda's energy strategy should focus on continued electrification, a more prominent role for energy efficiency, and prudent management of oil resources. Supporting industrial diversification could boost GDP by around $600 million and reduce GHG emissions by 9% by 2040. Uganda should focus on incentivizing resource-effective technologies and practices, minimizing damage to its natural resource base. Unlocking the power of urbanization could boost GDP by $4 billion and reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 7% by 2040. A more compact, connected urban development model could save close to 11% in infrastructure costs and improve access to basic services for the population by a third. But with the challenges that continue to affect economic growth, is it possible for Uganda to actually hit the ground running with a green growth economy?
Uganda's Vision 2040 is actually green. It takes care of the issues of the green economy because we are talking about valuing of the planet. We are talking about greening the economic sectors of the economic sectors. We are talking about lifting many people out of poverty, which is actually the inclusive growth.
We need to increase investments in wetlands protection. We need to increase investment in forestry protection, but also ensure that we put in place measures that will improve resource use efficiency. If you look at the way we are actually growing our crops, the post-harvest losses, if all these can be avoided, we will reduce the pressure on the natural resources.
The lingering question is, can a green growth be localized in line with Uganda's Vision 2040?
If it is energy, let us look at renewable energy as one of the key pillars or one of the key drivers of green growth in our country. We also need to cut out massive awareness, education and awareness on the importance of green growth as a tool for sustainable development.
There is concern that Ugandans have not developed a consciousness to protect the environment. Dr. Arthur Beinomisha, the Executive Director, ACOD, believes Ugandans need to be sensitized about the importance of a green economy, while government also needs practical implementation of policies, laws and strategies to promote the green economy.
What is going to prepare all this is strengthening the population with awareness so that they can demand from government and government institutions as a right. We want a fair an economy that works for us. We want to protect our environment, and we want to have sustainable development for children and the children of our children. If the population do not demand, then the government can only relax.
A new report from the government of Uganda and the New Climate Economy Partnership in Uganda found that a green economy could create 4 million new jobs by 2040 and reduce greenhouse gas emissions GHGs by 28%, enough to exceed the commitments Uganda made under the Paris Agreement. Navasa Innocent, Isabella Tugume, NBS Live at 9.
Brought to you by